My dear ones, in this age of confusion and spiritual darkness, when Maya, the cosmic delusion, spreads her veils ever thicker across the consciousness of mankind, the ability to discern truth from falsehood has become not merely useful, but essential for the spiritual aspirant. How many souls have been led astray by honeyed words that concealed poison? How many seekers have abandoned the path of self-realization because they followed false prophets who spoke with silver tongues but harbored hearts of lead? I have observed, throughout my years of guiding souls toward the divine, that deception is one of the greatest obstacles on the spiritual path. It is not merely the lies of others that we must guard against, but also the subtle deceits we practice upon ourselves. The Master Jesus warned, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." This warning echoes through the ages, as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. Today, I wish to share with you 7 sacred methods by which you may instantly detect when falsehood is being presented to you. These are not mere psychological tricks, my dear ones, but spiritual techniques that draw upon the deeper wisdom of the soul. When you develop these abilities, you become like a spiritual warrior, armed with the sword of discrimination, viveka, that cuts through illusion to reveal the truth that lies beneath. Before we begin, please like it if you enjoy this video. Let's dive deep together. The first way: observe the eyes, windows to the soul. "The light of the body is the eye," spoke the Christ. "If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." How profound this teaching! The eyes, dear ones, are indeed the windows through which the soul gazes out upon the world, and through which the world may glimpse the soul within. When a person speaks truth, their eyes remain steady, calm, and focused. There is a quality of light within them, a subtle radiance that emanates from the spiritual eye, the katastha, located at the point between the eyebrows. This light cannot be manufactured or imitated by one who speaks falsely. But observe carefully what happens when deception is present. The liar's eyes will dart away, seeking escape from your gaze. They may look up and to the left as they construct their fabrication, or down and to the right as they attempt to access emotions that will make their lie more convincing. The eyes may blink rapidly, betraying the inner agitation of the mind, or they may stare too intensely, too fixedly, in an unnatural attempt to appear truthful, like an actor who overplays his part. I remember a disciple who came to me many years ago, claiming to have achieved deep states of samadhi in his meditation. His words were eloquent, his descriptions detailed and impressive. But when I looked into his eyes, I saw only restlessness and the shadows of ego desire. His eyes could not hold my gaze. They flickered like candle flames in a storm. Gently, I guided him to understand that spiritual progress cannot be fabricated, and that honesty, especially with oneself, is the foundation of all true advancement. Learn to look deeply into the eyes of those who speak to you, not with suspicion or judgment, but with the calm, penetrating awareness of the spiritual aspirant. The soul recognizes truth, and the eyes reveal what the soul knows. The second way: listen to the voice, the vibration of truth. Sound, my dear ones, is the primary manifestation of Aum, the cosmic creative vibration. Every word we speak carries within it a particular vibration, a frequency that resonates either with truth or with falsehood. The spiritually attuned ear can detect these subtle differences. When truth is spoken, the voice carries a quality of steadiness and resonance. It flows naturally, like a river following its destined course to the ocean. There is no strain, no artificial modulation. The pitch remains relatively consistent, and the rhythm of speech is even and unhurried. Truth needs no embellishment. It stands on its own foundation, solid and unshakable. But falsehood creates disturbances in the voice that the trained ear can immediately detect. The pitch may rise unnaturally as the liar experiences inner stress. The voice may crack or waver, betraying the lack of conviction behind the words. Or it may become overly emphatic, too loud, too insistent, as if volume could somehow transform lies into truth. Listen also for hesitations and unnecessary elaborations. The truthful person speaks simply and directly, but the liar often adds excessive details, thinking that complexity will make the falsehood more believable. They may pause frequently, their mind racing to construct the next piece of their deceptive narrative. I have taught you to listen to the AUM vibration in meditation to attune your consciousness to the cosmic sound. Apply this same principle of deep listening in your daily interactions. Close your eyes if necessary and simply listen, not just to the words but to the vibration beneath the words. Your soul will recognize the discord of deception. The third way, feel the energy. The aura speaks truth. Every human being is surrounded by an aura, a field of subtle energy that extends beyond the physical body. This aura is composed of the vibrations of one's thoughts, emotions, and spiritual state. Those who have developed their spiritual sensitivity can perceive this aura and read within it the truth of a person's inner condition. When someone speaks truth, their aura expands and brightens. There is a feeling of openness, of light, of positive energy that flows toward you. You may feel uplifted, peaceful, or inspired in their presence. This is because truth is aligned with the divine, and the divine is the source of all positive vibration. But when deception is present, the aura contracts and darkens. You may feel a subtle sense of discomfort, unease, or even revulsion, though you may not immediately understand why. This is your soul's response to the negative vibration of falsehood. The energy feels heavy, murky, or agitated. There may be a sensation of something being withheld or hidden, like a door that has been closed and locked. I teach you to develop your intuitive faculties through meditation and spiritual practice. As your consciousness becomes more refined, you will naturally become more sensitive to these subtle energies. Trust these feelings. Your soul knows truth when it encounters it, and it recoils from deception. Many times, disciples have come to me confused because their minds told them one thing while their hearts told them another. Master, they would say, this person's words seem reasonable, but something feels wrong. I would always counsel them, trust the feeling. The mind can be deceived, but the soul knows truth. Practice this awareness in your daily life. When someone speaks to you, take a moment to feel the energy behind their words. Does it feel open and light, or closed and heavy? Does your heart expand or contract? These subtle sensations are the language of the soul, and they will never mislead you. The fourth way, watch the body. The temple cannot lie. The body, dear ones, is the temple of the soul, and it speaks a language more honest than words. While the conscious mind may craft elaborate deceptions, the body betrays the truth through countless subtle signals that the liar cannot fully control. Observe the hands. When a person speaks truth, their gestures are natural, flowing, and congruent with their words. But the deceiver's hands may fidget nervously, touch the face repeatedly, or hide themselves in pockets or behind the back. The liar may cover their mouth while speaking, a subconscious attempt to block the lies from emerging. They may touch their nose, rub their eyes, or pull at their collar. All signs of inner discomfort and stress. Watch the posture and stance. The truthful person stands or sits openly, their body relaxed and facing you directly. But the liar often turns their body away, creating a subtle barrier. They may cross their arms defensively, or shift their weight from foot to foot in agitation. Their shoulders may tense, and their breathing may become shallow and rapid. I have observed that when people lie, they often create physical distance. They may step backward, lean away, or place objects between themselves and the person they are deceiving. This is the body's instinctive attempt to escape from the uncomfortable situation that deception creates. Pay attention also to micro-expressions, those fleeting facial expressions that flash across the face in a fraction of a second before the conscious mind can suppress them. A moment of fear, contempt, or anxiety may flicker across the liar's features before being replaced by a false smile or expression of sincerity. The body is like a musical instrument, and truth plays upon it a harmonious melody. But deception creates discord, and this discord manifests in countless small ways that the observant eye can detect. Develop your powers of observation through the practice of concentration. In meditation, you learn to focus the mind with laser-like intensity. Apply this same focused awareness to your observation of others, and the body's truth will become apparent to you. The fifth way, question the consistency. Truth is unchanging. Truth, my beloved disciples, is like the North Star, constant, unchanging, reliable. It does not shift with the winds of convenience or alter itself to suit different audiences. But lies are like clouds that change their shape with every passing breeze, never maintaining a consistent form. When you suspect deception, ask questions, not in an aggressive or accusatory manner, but with genuine curiosity and interest. Ask the person to repeat their story or to elaborate on specific details. The truthful person will tell the same story consistently, with the same essential details, no matter how many times they are asked. Their account may gain additional details as they remember more, but the core narrative remains stable and coherent. But observe what happens when you question the liar. Their story begins to shift and change. Details that were present in the first telling disappear in the second. New elements are added that contradict earlier statements. The timeline becomes confused and inconsistent. When pressed for specifics, the liar becomes vague or evasive, or they may become defensive and angry, attempting to deflect attention from their deception through emotional manipulation. I recall a situation at the ashram where money had gone missing from the donation box. Several residents were questioned, and one young man told an elaborate story about seeing a stranger near the box. But when I asked him to describe the stranger again the next day, his description had changed significantly. The hair color was different, the clothing was different, even the time of day had shifted. Truth does not transform itself overnight, but lies cannot maintain their shape. Ask also about emotions and motivations. The truthful person can explain clearly why they felt or acted as they did, and their emotional responses are appropriate to the situation they describe. But the liar's emotions often seem disconnected from their narrative, or they may display emotions that seem rehearsed or exaggerated. Develop the quality of patience in your questioning. Do not rush to judgment, but allow the person time to speak. The truth will reveal itself through consistency, while deception will betray itself through contradiction. The sixth way, trust your intuition, the soul's infallible compass. Of all the methods I share with you today, this is perhaps the most important, for it encompasses and transcends all the others. Your intuition, dear ones, is the voice of your soul, that divine spark within you that is eternally connected to the infinite intelligence. It knows truth because it is itself an expression of truth. How many times have you had a gut feeling about someone or something, only to dismiss it as irrational or unfounded? And how many times have you later discovered that your initial intuition was correct? The soul speaks to us constantly, but we have learned to ignore its voice in favor of the chattering of the rational mind. Intuition manifests in many ways. It may come as a sudden knowing, a flash of insight that appears in your consciousness without logical reasoning. It may come as a feeling in your heart or solar plexus, a sense of rightness or wrongness that you cannot explain. It may come as a vision or symbol in meditation, or as a dream that carries a message of warning or guidance. The key to accessing your intuition is to quiet the restless mind through meditation and to develop the habit of listening to your inner voice. When someone speaks to you, take a moment to go within. Ask your soul, "Is this truth?" Then wait in silence for the answer. It will come not as a thought, but as a knowing, a feeling, a certainty that arises from the depths of your being. I have always taught that meditation is not merely a practice for achieving peace or spiritual experiences, but a practical tool for navigating life's challenges. Through regular, deep meditation, you strengthen your connection to your intuitive faculty. You learn to distinguish between the voice of ego, the voice of fear, and the voice of soul wisdom. Trust this inner guidance, even when it contradicts what your rational mind tells you. Even when others think you are being foolish or overly suspicious, trust the wisdom of your soul. It is connected to the divine intelligence that knows all things, sees all things, and will never lead you astray. The seventh way: observe the fruits, by their actions shall you know them. Finally, my dear ones, remember the timeless wisdom. By their fruits ye shall know them. Words are cheap and easily manufactured, but actions reveal the true nature of a person's character and intentions. Time is the great revealer of truth, and patience is the virtue that allows truth to emerge from behind the veils of deception. When someone makes promises or claims, do not accept them immediately at face value. Instead, watch and wait. Do their actions align with their words? Does their behavior over time demonstrate the truth of what they have claimed? A person may speak eloquently of love and compassion, but if their actions are cruel and selfish, their words are empty lies. A person may claim spiritual attainment, but if their life does not demonstrate peace, wisdom, and selfless service, their claims are false. I have seen many who came to the spiritual path speaking beautiful words about their dedication to God realization, their commitment to meditation, their desire to serve humanity. But when the test came, when discipline was required, when ego had to be surrendered, when comfort had to be sacrificed, their actions revealed that their words were merely the fantasies of the untrained mind, not the commitments of the sincere heart. Be patient in your judgment of others. Give people time to demonstrate through their actions whether their words carry truth. But also be discerning. If someone's actions consistently contradict their words, if they make promises they never keep, if they speak of high ideals but live in low consciousness, then you know that deception is present, whether they are deceiving you, themselves, or both. This principle applies not only to detecting lies in others, but also to examining your own life. Are your actions aligned with your stated beliefs and values? Do you live the truth you claim to believe? Self-honesty is the foundation of all spiritual progress, and it requires the courage to look unflinchingly at the gap between what we say and what we do. The practice of truth discernment. Now, my beloved disciples, I have shared with you these 7 methods for detecting deception. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must practice these techniques until they become second nature, until truth discernment becomes as natural to you as breathing. Begin with yourself. Practice absolute honesty in all your dealings, no matter how small. When you are tempted to tell a white lie or to shade the truth for convenience, resist that temptation. Feel what it is like to live in complete alignment with truth. This practice will attune your consciousness to the vibration of truth, making it easier to recognize when that vibration is absent in others. Meditate daily on the spiritual eye, the kutastha, the center of divine perception located at the point between the eyebrows. This is the seat of intuition and spiritual discrimination. As you concentrate on this point, pray for the development of viveka, the ability to distinguish between the real and the unreal, the true and the false, the eternal and the temporary. Practice these observation techniques in low-stakes situations first. When watching a movie or reading a news article, try to sense whether what is being presented feels true or false. When talking with friends or family about mundane matters, observe their eyes, voice, energy, and body language. Develop your skills in a safe environment before you need to rely on them in more critical situations. But remember, dear ones, that the goal is not to become suspicious or paranoid, constantly doubting everyone around you. The goal is to develop spiritual discrimination so that you can navigate the world wisely, protecting yourself from those who would lead you astray while remaining open and loving toward those who are sincere. Conclusion: the ultimate truth. In closing, I wish to remind you of the ultimate truth that underlies all these teachings. God alone is real. All else is Maya, the cosmic delusion. The greatest lie is the belief that we are separate from the divine, that we are merely these limited bodies and personalities rather than immortal souls made in the image of God. When you dedicate yourself to knowing this ultimate truth through meditation and self-realization, all lesser truths and falsehoods fall into their proper perspective. You begin to see that those who lie to you are themselves trapped in the greatest lie of all, the lie of separation from God. You can then respond to their deception not with anger or judgment, but with compassion, knowing that they are souls lost in delusion, in need of the light of truth. Develop these 7 abilities I have shared with you today. Observe the eyes, listen to the voice, feel the energy, watch the body, question for consistency, trust your intuition, and observe the fruits of actions over time. But develop them in the context of your spiritual practice, as tools to help you navigate the world while keeping your consciousness focused on the divine. Remember always that the greatest protection against deception is your own connection to God. When your consciousness is anchored in the divine, when you practice the presence of God in every moment, when you see the Lord in all beings, then deception loses its power over you. You become like a lotus flower, living in the muddy water of the world but remaining unstained by it, your petals open to the light of truth. May you walk always in the light of truth. May your words be true, your thoughts be true, and your actions be true. And may you develop the divine discrimination that allows you to recognize truth wherever you encounter it, and to gently, compassionately turn away from falsehood. Meditate deeply, live truthfully, and remember always, God is the only truth, and you are made in His image. When you know this truth in the depths of your being, all other truths and lies become as insignificant as shadows that disappear when the sun rises.